but he had to go home to go get the battery. So he ends up going home to go get the battery while he was in traffic, and one of the sisters went to one of his trucks that he was in before or something like that, and she found a wallet, and guess who was in the wallet? The same girl that he got caught with when they were younger. And so you know what that looked like. So she hit the fan fast. So she ends up going to Melinda's job and shows her what was in his truck or whatever, and Melinda's pissed off, and so uh, what happens? Oh, Robert goes home and he's in there because they had a GPS on Robert's truck, and they was like, what is he doing? I think he's going to do something. So they ended up all coming to the house at the same time. Robert was there before them, but he was picking up his battery trying to get out the house. But when he tried to do all that, Taraji P. Henson came, which was Melinda. She showed up and she was like, don't you got something to tell me? So yeah, they're fighting. And he walk out the door. I gotta go. He trying to get to Prescott to get that money. He can't get out there because he fighting Taraji P. So after he fighting Taraji P, her sister pull up Brenda. She got her other sisters with her too. She's like, nah, you get off my sister. She hit him with the purse in the head. Ah. So that part was funny though. There was a lot of stuff going on. So he ends up having to take a bus to get to Prescott, which made him late. So he gets there and he goes into the meeting, and they're like, and this is meanwhile Taraji P. Mama's house is up for mortgage. Remember that. So he goes to the meeting. He's in the meeting and they offer him $800,000 for his unit, and they wanted the battery and they wanted the rights to it, and he wasn't trying to sell it to it because he didn't want to sell it and he could get more money for it if they offer him a different deal. And so he didn't want to give him the license and everything because he would make way more money than $800,000. So he turned him down. So he goes back to the house, and Taraji P is sitting there. She's in the church smoking a cigarette like this, and her sisters are all sitting around, and the brother-in-laws are sitting around, and he comes back in and tells her, he's like, Prescott called, and baby, Prescott called. She was like, okay, and she was like, well, what that got to do with the house being mortgaged or whatever? And he was like, they offered me $800,000. Meanwhile, he drained her of all her money that her mom left her. So he ends up telling her that he turned down the deal. So first she found out he cheating. He had a chance to get $800,000. He said no, and they found out that he really, basically, they was trying to make dude out to be a bum, and he had a dream which he was trying to live up to, but he had a lot of stuff he had to go through, and he was draining her pockets from the beginning. So he ends up, she tells him to get out, and she wants a divorce. So for the longest time, he was sleeping in the shelter and stuff, and then she made him actually show up to sign the papers for the divorce or whatever. So she was done with him. They were gone. Man, then after that, the lady that he was cheating with her, the one that he got caught with in the trailer, she was working at Prescott. I forgot what she was doing in there, but she was working there. She was real known, and she got him in for another deal, another offering. And this time they offered him way much more than what they were offering before, and they also wanted him to keep his licensing to his battery, so basically he can make money for the rest of his life. So he ends up taking the deal, and he shows up to Melinda's job, and this is way further on down the road or whatever, and he gives her $10 million, and he gives her some flowers to tell her he's sorry, and he tell her that he loves her. And so Melinda at this time, she had already moved on and started talking to Devin. They had already started smashing. Basically, her life was moved on already, but she found out that he struck gold. So, striking gold or whatever, and she basically goes home and disses her sisters, and she disses Devin, and makes him get out, and she goes to meet Roberts at his skyrise building or something like that. But later did she not know that, what's the girl's name? I'm going to start using her name. Later did she not know that, what's the girl's name? The one that he got caught cheating with, which is, Oh, Deanna. Deanna was inside. It's either Deanna or Deanna. She was inside the shower, and he came out, and he had tux and everything. He looked nice. He had, little suit on and everything. And Taraji P showed up at the door. She thought he was the only one there, so she comes out from the shower, and she's like, "Baby, what's going on?" And Taraji P's looking like, and she's looking like. And then Robert's like, "Oh, this is my ex-wife." So they meet each other right then and there. So Taraji P, she leaves and she jumps in her car, and of course she leaves and she's mad, she's pissed off. And he had made the new woman his fiance already. And so basically she was mad because he had the money. He had the money now, and he was living the dream that he promised her, and somebody else was living it. So another thing, I forgot another thing. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Another thing, also, after all that, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. After all that, he ends up she ends up getting some pictures, and basically she started having all this bitterness and basically doing crazy things. She ends up going to court. The judge tells her to stay away from Robert and his new girl or whatever. She's not having that. She's like, "This bitch has my dream, and she's living out what I was supposed to be living." And basically, it's like, okay, you didn't want him when he didn't have nothing. You want him now. So she ends up going to this yacht that they were on. Robert's on there. He's having a good time with his new fiance, and she's pregnant and all that. And they have a little staff and all that. And next thing you know, his fiance goes down to the bottom of the ship, and then Taraji P, while Robert's laying down on one of the chairs, Taraji P comes and puts her hand on his chest while he's laying down. And he looks up. He thought it was his fiance, but it was her. She had a gun to his head, like, "What's up now?" And so, after all that, what happened? Basically, she shot Robert, and she made the whole crew jump off the ship. And this is where it gets to the part that's so stupid to me. This is the only problem I had with this movie: the way that Taraji P dies. I'm sorry if I spoiled it for y'all, but it was just, I'm sorry, Tyler Perry, you could have done better. So, Taraji P is actually on a ship with Robert and his fiance. She has a gun, she has all this stuff. And basically, while his wife is down, when his wife jumps in a boat, Robert tells his wife to go jump in a boat. She goes to get the rest of the crew members that got knocked off the ship. And basically Taraji P is chasing him like a horror flick movie. She has an axe, and she's dragging an axe, walking like this with an axe, and she's dragging it on the ground. Robert's bleeding already from being shot, and he falls, and then she hits him one time with the axe. She did get him one time with the axe. So after she got him one time with the axe, it was some chains or something that wrapped around her feet and pulled her through like some kind of little hole out of nowhere, some kind of little rectangle hole. And basically she got dragged down, anchored down to the bottom of the floor of the ocean. And that's how she died. And then the movie went black. The screen went black, I'm sorry. Not the movie went, the screen just said, oop, she got dragged down, oop, screen. We ain't get no after story. We ain't get no what happened afterwards. We don't even know if she really died. Nobody knows nothing. All I know is that was the end of the movie. And that's the only thing I had a problem with in this movie. Tyler Perry, that sucked. And I'm just being honest. That part